Hi everybody, welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be starting what's going to be a multi-part episode talking about the sound system in the GLC43 and some potential upgrades for it. And we're going to do this as a couple different videos. I'm going to talk about, first, today's video is going to be what's wrong. So what about it sucks? Why does it need to be updated, fixed, replaced, whatever? Then I'm going to talk through the planning stages, figuring out what hardware to buy and what I want. There's a couple different options that I have here. Then we're going to talk about wiring, like the layout of the wiring and ordering all of the equipment, figuring out what we actually need to do to get it installed. Then after that, we'll do an installation on the speakers, subwoofer. So those will probably be two different videos. So like speakers, amp processor, subs, and then we'll do one on tuning and kind of some last thoughts. So this could be 6 or so parts. We'll see how many it ends up being. I'm going to try not to make the videos too long and boring. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It allows me to do projects. So please subscribe so that I can continue to produce content. So let's talk about the vehicle. So this is my 2018 GLC43 AMG. And I've talked about it a little bit before in some videos. We've talked about the Eurocharge tune and some other things that we've done. I gave just an overview of it. And as you may know, I have two Mercedes. We have this, and we also have an SLC 300, which is a 2020 that Jessica drives to work every single day. That's her daily driver. This is my daily driver, the GLC 43. So I purchased this car. It was a 2018. It had 8,000 miles on it. It was used. I'm the second owner of it. Technically, it's a certified car, so that means I have a great warranty, and I didn't pay $70,000 for it. I paid $45,000 for it, so I saved quite a bit of money. And because of that, I didn't get to pick exactly what I wanted in the vehicle. So there are a couple things that I would have done differently, but there are a lot of things that I like about it. So the car has most of the driving features, the driving aids, the things that make it fast and drive well, but it's missing a couple of the the creature comfort things. Like I would have loved to have red stitching. I would have loved to have the red seat belts. I would have loved to have CarPlay. So we'll talk a little bit about the sound system that's in here and what I like about it and what I don't like. So let's go hop in the driver's seat. All right. So, Mercedes-Benz really makes 3 different audio systems at this point. They have their base system, which is called the Audio 20. They have their mid-range system, which is the Harman Kardon Logic 7 system, and that's only available in certain vehicles. And they have a Burmeister system, which is considered their high-end, again only available in certain vehicles. So this car would have been available with either the Audio 20 base or Burmeister. Our SLC has the Harman Kardon system in it. The Harman Kardon system is actually pretty good. It's got 4-inch speakers, it's got subs, it actually sounds pretty good. You can crank it up. It's really not bad. It's something that you could fairly easily live with every day. And I did live with that same system in my E-Class for about 1.5 years with no issues, and I just really didn't. It wasn't bad enough that I cared to try to upgrade it. And it was a good system. So this has what's called the Audio 20, which is the most basic system. The Burmeister system would have been an upgrade on it, but honestly, it's not great. So I'm okay with it not having it. So I have a media head unit that has 2 USB interfaces, it has Bluetooth audio, it has a CD player, it has a SD card slot that I can play SD cards. It has something called a media register, which is basically a hard drive that I can add music to. And all of that stuff is kind of built right in, as well as there's a single CD player, and it's controlled through this control setup here, which actually is pretty intuitive and works really, really well. This has Command, which is Mercedes-Benz built-in navigation system, which is an SD card-based navigation. Because it has Command, it cannot have CarPlay as a 2018. In 2019, they were able to coexist. In 2018, you had to pick one or the other. The person who bought this picked Command and not CarPlay. so I don't have CarPlay, and I can't, well, there are some aftermarket ways to add CarPlay. I don't know that I'm going to go down that road. So the system has a very basic sound setup. There's a, if I go to, just pick a different source. All right, so I've got a SD card playing there right now. So they're very, very basic settings. I've got EQ settings, treble, mid, bass. I've got balance and fader settings. That's it. Those are my choices. That's what I've got. That's it. So I have really no control whatsoever over the speakers. But then again, the speakers suck. So let's talk about what's actually in the vehicle. So we'll hop out here so you can see a little bit better, because it's kind of dark in the garage with the tinted windows. So this car, if you look on the door, there's a grill here and there's a grill here. This grill has a speaker in it. It's a 4-inch speaker. This grill has nothing in it. It's blank. It's empty. There's nothing there. There is a center grill. There is not a center speaker. If it had Burmeister, it would have a center speaker, but because it doesn't have it, it doesn't have it. Same thing with this sail pillar. This would have a tweeter if it was a Burmeister setup. In the back doors, I have a single 4-inch speaker again. So I've got a front 4-inch speaker, a rear 4-inch speaker. No tweeters or anything like that in the back. In the very far back, I have holes for tweeters, but no tweeters. Both sides. This is going to match the other side. Single 4-inch in the door, no tweeter. And this matches the other side. Single 4-inch, no tweeter. There is also a subwoofer that is buried behind this, the floor mat. It's actually behind the floor mat. There's a 7-inch subwoofer that they put in there from the factory. So to sum that up, or you know, just to provide clarity, this car has 4 4-inch speakers and 1 7-inch sub, and that is it. The speakers are not coaxials. They do not have tweeters. They are a single 4-inch speaker. So the highs suck, the lows suck. There's no bass. There's distortion unless you roll the bass off. It's a bad setup. That being said, the Burmeister setup sucks too, and if I had that, I'd probably still be unhappy with it, but I wouldn't want to deal with it. So because I have this, it actually gives me the ability to play. So that's kind of the total of my first video. What sucks about it, why it doesn't work. This would be the same as the C class. So the GLC and the C have the same equipment lists. So if you had a C class with the Audio 20, it was 2016 through 2020, they would be the same. Same thing with the GLC. So whether it's a GLC 250, a 300, a 43, a 63, or a C, 250, 300, 43, or 63, those all have the same equipment packages available to them, and they all have the same setup. If I had Burmeister, I would have an amplifier in the back. In this case, I do not. So I have 4 speakers that have speaker wire that runs back to the head unit, the actual CD player that's inside the dash, and that's what powers it. There's no external amplifiers or anything. I have 1 subwoofer. If I had Burmeister, I would have 2. There'd be one on the driver kick panel and one on the passenger side. But instead, I just have 1. So I'm going to talk in the next video about some of my options, what I can do. I've got, just to kind of give you a sneak peek, I've got an option to do a OEM Plus, and I've got an option to do a full-blown aftermarket system. And we'll talk about what each of those mean, what the hardware lists look like, the pluses and minuses of both of those, and inevitably what I'm going to choose, which I honestly don't know yet off the top of my head. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.